I just love seeing that classic Capcom logo in an NES game. In the year 2000 X80, the first annual robot tournament was held. With 8 of the world's most powerful robots, but there's always a but. There's always something else that's gonna happen. You know something's always gonna happen when you play a Mega Man game. Mr. X, the sponsor of the tournament, took control of the robots and began to take over the world. Why, Mr. X? Why? It's time to tell you the truth. I've been manipulating that fool Dr. Wily from the beginning. But now I no longer need Dr. Wily's help. Come and face me, Mega Man. We'll stop you. Follow me, Rush. Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 6 Part 1. Mega Man 6 is the last Mega Man game on the original NES. The original NES is a system that started it all for Mega Man, and now we're 6 games into the series and we're still on the same system it all started with, the NES. It's 1993, the SNES is a way well-established system now, and Capcom still likes making Mega Man games on the NES, but not for much longer. All these robot masters come from places all over the world. First, we're going against Windman, but considering the fact that he has, backgrounds that allude to ancient Chinese architecture, and he has evil panda robots in this level, he most likely comes from China. Mega Man 6 came out in 1993, and it was advertised as the Slim NES, or what's it called, the Top Loader NES, where you can actually put the cartridges in the top of the system. It came with a controller that looks almost like an SNES controller, but it's still just a regular NES controller. It was referred to as the Dog Bone controller. It actually was a better controller than the regular NES controller. I never had one of those. I actually would have loved to have had one of those later NES models. My problem is now, I hear they're very expensive now, very rare and obscure, and they only connect to the TV for one way only. They don't use AV at all, like the original NES. You had a choice between AV or coax. It only uses coax, so it's kind of so you're not going to get the best kind of picture quality. But then again, I don't even play. I still have my original NES from way back in the day. I almost never play on it anymore. Most of the time I play games on now, I usually use emulators. Most of the time I use my Raspberry Pi 400 to play NES games. And then I use a PS1 controller to play them because it's a way better controller than the original NES controller. So this game is much more elaborate than any of the previous Mega Man games, where there are things you can jump on, there's things you can send you into the sky. The rush works completely differently in this game. There's no 3D spin around turntable models, I don't think, in this game like there were in Mega Man 5. The Mega Buster, or the Charge Shot Mega Buster, is just as useless in this game as it was in Mega Man 5. So most of the time you're better off just spamming rapid fire Buster Shots. That's not going to be much of a problem anymore until you see what Rush is capable of doing in this game. There's spikes everywhere. This game is a big challenge. Well, to a small extent, it's a big challenge if you don't know where to go. But then again, the gameplay is actually more non-linear than most of the other ones. You can actually do it and play for the enemies or the robots in this game in a bunch of different orders. I can still get around pretty good. It might require some E-tanks, but I've managed to play for this game using a bunch of different orders. It's not like in Mega Man 4 or 5 where it's very much established that, oh, you need to play in this or do that one, then that one, then that one, then that one in weakness order. This one's not as defined with weaknesses. It's actually easy to beat a lot of these robot masters, especially the ones at the top, the 4 at the top, the Wind Man, Flame Man, Plant Man, and Blizzard Man. It's actually really easy to beat those ones only using the Mega Buster. Even some of the other ones are actually quite easy to beat. Well, again, only using the Mega Buster. So, just like in Mega Man 1 and 2, we start off with only our standard weapon, and look at that, no Rush Coil. There's no Rush Coil in this game. There's no Rush Chat in this game. Did they forget to put Rush in this game? Well, we saw him in the intro, so Rush is going to be in this game. But Capcom decided to take Rush in a whole new direction with this game. So here's Windman. This guy's gonna be, he's very similar to Airman from Mega Man 2. You can almost be mistaken for Airman from Mega Man 2. He pretty much is a cheap Chinese bootleg version of Airman. Get it? Chinese, he probably comes from China, and China is known for making all the bootleg systems, bootlegs of great American stuff. Only, I'm not sure where Airman originally came from, but I know he's like the cheap version. He actually does shoot out stuff like blades and things like that, which is something Airman couldn't do. So I don't know, maybe he's better than Airman. I still think Airman was a much cooler robot master than Windman, but they're kind of running out of ideas by this point, so I just thought, let's just rehash robot masters that we've made before. But then again, rumor has it, there was a contest with this game where people from all over the world could draw their own designs for robot masters and submit them, and the winners would actually get used in the actual game. So we got Windstorm, a very basic and mostly useless weapon that can only be useful against Flame Man, I think it is. But we're not going after him. Next we're going after Blizzard Man. This guy comes from Russia, supposedly. In Siberia around there, he's a master of snow, or it's always snowy and icy in northern Russia. There's seals everywhere, there's Arctic things everywhere, so yeah, it's just the Arctic, essentially. But that's no problem. Mega Man's dealt with ice levels, where this level, yeah, there are ice physics in this level, but it's not as bad as it's been in the previous ice-themed levels in Mega Man games. In fact, I think this is the first time since, what was the last ice-themed level? I know Mega Man 2 didn't have an ice-themed level. I don't remember Mega Man 3 having an ice-themed level, or Mega Man 4 to that one. Come to think, this might be like the first or one of the first ice levels since Mega Man 1, if I remember correctly. I know Mega Man 1 famously had Iceman stage, and then after that, there really weren't a lot of ice levels in this game. I mean, there were levels, there was like fire-themed levels, there was electricity-themed levels, there was machinery-themed levels, but ice levels, it's such an obvious thing in games. Like, a lot of games have ice levels. Mario has ice levels. Sonic has ice levels. Mega Man had one, but then it's like they kind of just forgot about them. I don't know, do they have something, people at Capcom have something against ice and snow or something like that? And then there's a squid thing there that randomly appears. What does that have to do with being the ice? I don't know. Do they find those frozen in ice blocks in Russia? I have heard rumors about people going to Russia and finding people frozen in ice blocks, like in that movie Rare Exports. So they found Santa frozen in a hard, solid ice box, or an ice block or something, and then they find Santa Claus frozen in one of them. And then I decide to use the idea in Ivan's War. They find Ultraverse Santa Claus. Ultraverse Santa Claus is frozen in a hard block of ice. That's from that series I write called Ivan's War. Yeah, it's had to have a Christmas episode. Every series has to have a Christmas episode somewhere, right? Some people think there should have been a Christmas-themed Mega Man game. There actually kind of is something like that. There actually is a DLC, I think, for Mega Man Powered Up, where it makes the game look all Christmassy. I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of Mega Man Powered Up eventually. I don't know when that will be. A lot of stuff that's in Mega Man Powered Up actually came from this game, like those ticking time bombs, and some of those, like, shield enemies. A lot of those first debuted in Mega Man 4, but they were in this game again. We see them in Mega Man Powered Up. Mega Man Powered Up actually was kind of advanced. Pretty much, I think if they knew Mega Man was capable of doing all stuff, or could be capable of doing stuff like this, I bet they would have made Mega Man 1 like this. Mega Man 1 could have been just as advanced, or almost as advanced as Mega Man 6. And then imagine how if they were to still make 6 Mega Man games in the NES, and what all the subsequent Mega Man games would have been like if Mega Man 1 was this advanced. Just this advanced as Mega Man 6. Mega Man 6 is probably my second favorite Mega Man game on the NES, I think. It is a really innovative game, even though it does copy stuff from some of the previous Mega Man games to a small extent. It actually is a lot more original than some of the other Mega Man games on the NES, and it is a very innovative game. There's all sorts of features and cool stuff to find in the game, and it has a good musical score. It's not as good as the music to Mega Man's 1, 2, and maybe even Mega Man 3. It's not as good as those, but it still has some really good music in this game. They actually did a really good job at pushing the musical capabilities of the original NES, so they really, get credit there. Alright, so yeah, this is also my third favorite Mega Man game in total. Again, of all the classic Mega Man games, this is my third favorite one. Mega Man 3 being my second favorite one, and Mega Man 7 being my favorite. Mega Man 7 brought back a lot of the stuff that was in this game. People don't like Mega Man 7 as much because it kind of lost the charm the NES games had. Some people say classic Mega Man should have just stayed on the NES, and the SNES should have been left for Mega Man X, Mega Man's futuristic counterpart, which you're going to be seeing in the next Mega Man game that may have came after this one, which is Mega Man X. And some people say Mega Man X may have actually came out before this game. This game actually may have been released after Mega Man X. I don't know. So different sources say different things. So I don't know which is accurate or not. It's a problem with the internet. There's so many wrong or inaccurate reports on things. Wikipedia is full of it. And yet people at school, like the school administrators I had in elementary school, say that if something is on the internet, that means it is true. So that means all the information I speak of in my videos is always going to be true and factual. And now Blizzard Man is dead, so we're gonna get his weapon, which is gonna be a Blizzard-themed weapon. What else is it gonna give me? A stick of fire I can use to melt stuff with? You get Blizzard Attack. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.